art has been adapted into many forms under the influence of religion. Whole periods of art history have been dedicated to the popularity of religious imagery, not only in drawings and paintings, but also in things like sculptures, textiles, calligraphy, architecture, etc. Many different religions having their own ways of expressing their faith through art, from depictions of angels and demons to God and other divine entities. Some of the larger examples would be the representation of Jesus and other biblical figures in the thousands of paintings, or even depictions of multiple gods like the goddess Kali in Hinduism. But not all religions include figural representation in their art, Islam being a religion to have its own unique expression of religious art. Let's discuss. Islam is a strictly monotheistic religion, and the followers being Muslims, and one of the core beliefs being that there is no God but Allah. In this project, I'll be highlighting the early Islamic period and how that relates to the art history world. The Metropolitan Museum of Art highlights an incredibly important fact when it comes to identifying Islamic art. This classification also extends to works that have the same characteristics from regions previously ruled by Muslims, but might not express Islamic subject matter in them. It's quite the vast category of art, spanning a large geographical region, and each country having its own collaborations of national influences and styles on top of it. But even with all of these differences, four main components can be found among all Islamic artworks, such as geometric patterns, vegetal patterns, calligraphy, and figure representation. It's something important to note that Islam forbids the worship of idols, which means it forbids the worship of statues and art pieces. This could be the reason why well-documented figural paintings are rare to come by in comparison to the plentiful variety of intricate architecture and expressive calligraphy found in the Islamic world. The painting I'm creating was quite the challenge considering all of this research. As I said earlier, there isn't a lot of study that I could research online, since most of the sources focused on the other components of this genre of art. It was difficult to find inspiration, and I struggled greatly with deciding what I wanted to focus on while still having a part of my own art style in it. However, the bathing scene on the west wall of the west aisle of the audience hall in Jordan stood out as not only are portraits uncommon, but one of a semi-naked woman sparked the interest in what the story behind it was. Surprisingly, I came to learn that no one really knows the meaning of this piece. But from a technical standpoint, it's more than unique. The structure of the woman's face, the beautiful blues, the composition were all things I wanted to pull from into my own piece. Another piece of artwork that inspired me once I started painting was Reza Abaisi's painting, The Lovers. Abaisi revolutionized Persian paintings by incorporating the unusual palette and calligraphic lines. Additionally, this painting reflected a change in the times and a decrease in the morals of the Safavid reign. I thought it would be interesting to incorporate not only calligraphy into this piece, but also a seemingly unusual color palette. Another concept I was able to further my learning was the term arabesque, which could only be considered as a formal name for the repeating vegetal and geometric patterns. These recurring elements are meant to symbolize the invisible, transcendent, and infinite nature of Allah. Arabesque was not only used to describe the insanely detailed architecture, but also things like carpets, jewelry, work, literature, and even traditional clothing worn in many Arab countries. Knowing this, I also wanted to include some Arabic calligraphy and Arabic phrases into this piece. The phrases I chose were Subhanallah, meaning glory to Allah, and Alhamdulillah, meaning praise and thanks to Allah. This project was a lot of fun, and I love combining both my faith and my art into a project. It was incredibly interesting to explore how art changes within the context of religious influences. I already have a great love for Islamically styled artwork, especially Arabic calligraphy, and I thought, although I could definitely expand upon this painting, I'm content with the final product in the confines of the reading that I did. There are lots more that could be expanded upon when it comes to this topic, but I wanted to keep the focus on early Islamic art and the seemingly under-recognized space of portraiture in this time period. Thank you for watching.